Hi students, we were discussing about complex permanent tissues. Okay, so about plant tissue, we have studied everything. So which are the two types of plant tissues? Dividing cells called meristematic cells and non-dividing cells called permanent tissue. And meristematic tissue is again divided into apical meristem, lateral meristem and intercalary meristem. And what about permanent tissue? Permanent tissue is divided into two, simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissue. Which are the simple permanent tissues? Parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. They are simple supportive tissues. And which are the simple protective tissues? Epidermis and cork. Then which are the complex tissues? Xylem and phloem. So today we can study about animal tissues. So in human beings and in animals, which are the tissues. So in our body we know when we breathe, we can feel the movement of our lungs. We can feel our chest moving up and down. So how this movement is taking place? Movement in our body is taking place due to some cells called muscle cells. So the contraction and relaxation of the muscle cells cause movement in our body. Or for example, we know when we breathe, we take in oxygen and oxygen reaches our lungs. From lungs, it is carried to all the millions of cells in our body. And who is carrying this oxygen to all the millions of cells in our body? Blood carries this oxygen to all the cells in our body. Or after digestion, the digested food is absorbed into the walls of small intestine. From there, the blood is carrying the digested food also to all parts of our body. So here, blood is a type of tissue. Muscle cell is also a kind of tissue. And muscle cells form muscular tissue. And blood is a form of connective tissue. And the different types of animal tissues are epithelial tissue, so different types of animal tissues. One type is epithelial tissue, the next is connective tissue, then muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. So which are the different types of animal tissues? Epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. So today we can study about epithelial tissue. Okay. So in plants we study epidermis. You remember. What is the function? They are the covering part. They cover and protect the plant parts. Like that in our body, epithelial tissue is the covering tissue. So since it is the covering tissue, what is its function? Its main function is protection. So the covering and protective tissue in our body is epithelial tissue. So it covers all parts of our body and it covers all the organs of our body. So one organ is separated from other organ by this epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue cover each organ and each organ is separated. Or there are different systems in our body, nervous system, digestive system, respiratory system, so many systems. Each system is separated from other system also by epithelial tissue. So epithelial tissue separates different parts of our body. It covers all the parts of our body and it protects the different parts of our body. So how will be its arrangement? Loosely packed with intercellular space or tightly packed without intercellular space? How will be its arrangement? It is arranged tightly because its function is what? Covering and protection. So it should cover all parts. So it is tightly packed without intercellular space. And if anything want to enter into our body or go out of our body, it want to cross at least a single layer of epithelial tissue. So the permeability of the epithelial tissue decides which all things should enter into or go out of our body also. Okay. And we study epithelial tissue is the covering part. So it forms the outermost tissue. Below that there will be some other tissue like connective tissue, nervous tissue and all. So this epithelial tissue is separated from the underlying tissue by a basement membrane. So it is separated from the next tissue by a membrane, basement membrane. So it is separated from this tissue by a basement membrane also. Okay. And in our body we can see this epithelial tissue in different parts. In skin there is epithelial tissue. In the lining of our mouth we can see there is epithelial tissue. The lining of our blood vessels, lining of our alveolus, everywhere we can see epithelial tissue. And based on the function, so in different parts they are doing different functions. So based on the function, the structure of the epithelial tissue in different parts are also different. So in different parts it is performing different function. So based on that function it have a different structure also. So now we can look the arrangement of this epithelial tissue and the structure of the epithelial tissue and the function and their location also, where we can see this epithelial tissue. And one thing is that if it is arranged in one layer, if there is only a single layer of epithelial tissue, we can call that epithelial tissue as simple epithelial tissue. Okay, so if one layer is there, we call it what? Simple. If many layers are there, we call it stratified. Okay, so if one layer is single layer, simple epithelial tissue. If many layers are there, we call it stratified epithelial tissue. Okay, then based on the shape also, the different names are there. If they are thin and flat, we call them squamous epithelium. Okay. If they are pillar-like, we call them columnar. If they are cube-shaped, we call them cuboid. Okay. So based on the number of layers, they are, if single layer we call it simple epithelium. If many layers we call it stratified epithelium. And shape also, if they are thin we call it squamous epithelium. If they are long pillar like we call it columnar epithelium. If they are cube shaped we call it cuboid epithelium. Okay. So now we can look in which part we can see these different types of epithelium. So the lining of our blood vessels are made up of thin flat epithelium. Okay. Or the lining of our alveolus. Alveolus are present in our lungs, and from alveolus oxygen is entering into the blood. So exchange of gas is taking place, or transportation of oxygen from alveolus to blood is taking place through the wall of alveolus. And this blood vessels will carry this oxygen, and from the through the walls of blood vessels oxygen is diffused into the cells. So the exchange of things are taking place through the walls of blood vessels. So the wall of alveolus and the wall of blood vessel. What is the function? Transportation of substances is taking place. And these walls are made up of thin and flat epithelium. Why? Because exchange, transportation is taking place. If it is thick, it is difficult for exchanging things. And if it is many layered, also very difficult. So how many layers? Single layer. So single layer and thin and flat layers of epithelium are present in the walls of our blood vessels and walls of our alveolus. So what will be the name? Single layer. So simple. Then shape is thin and flat. So squamous. Simple squamous epithelium. And squamous means scale. What is the meaning of squamous? Scale. You know, fish, body of fish is covered with scales. What about that scale? That is thin and flat. Okay, so like that, in the lining of our blood vessels and alveolus, thin and flat cells are arranged. Or when you look at the floor, you can see tiles are thin and flat. So tiles are arranged one after the other above the floor. So like that, these thin flat cells are arranged around our blood vessels and alveolus. Okay, so what is the name of that epithelium? Simple squamous epithelium. Okay, so simple squamous epithelium. So thin, flat, single layered epithelium. Clear? And where we can see in the lining of our blood vessels and alveolus. What is the function? Transportation of substances. And again we can see this simple squamous epithelium inside the lining of our mouth, around our food pipe, everywhere we can see. Okay. Then what about skin? Skin is also, it's covering cell tissue. So skin also have which type of tissue? Skin also have epithelial tissue. But here in blood vessels and all we saw only one layer is there. But in skin, it is the outermost covering. So single layer is not enough. It is made up of many layers to prevent the wear and tear. Otherwise, damages will occur. So to give protection, skin is made up of many layers. And we know the outermost layers of the skin are dead cells. Every day millions of cells, the skin is shedding off millions of cells from our cells above the skin also. So dead cells are falling off from our skin. So it is made up of many layers. For what? To give protection or to prevent the wear and tear, it is made up of many layers. But which type? Flat, thin cells itself, but not a single layer, many layers. So what will be the name? If many layers, we call it is stratified. So what is the name? Stratified. Then same thin and flat cells. So we can give the name stratified squamous epithelium. So skin have which type of epithelium? Stratified squamous epithelium. So it is made up of many layers, not a single layer. We can see many layers are present in the skin. Okay, and what is the function? To give protection from the wear and tear. Okay, then one type is squamous epithelium. That is clear now. Then another type is we can see in the walls of our intestine. What is the function of the intestine? Walls of the intestine. From the intestine walls, digested food is absorbed into the intestinal walls. And intestinal walls also secrete some intestinal juices. So absorption is taking place inside the intestinal wall. Secretion is also taking place. So what is the function? Absorption and secretion. So if they have thin flat cells, for absorption and secretion they need large surface area. So thin flat cells are not enough. So what about the epithelial cells in the intestinal wall? They are long, pillar-like. Pillar, you know, very long, cylindrical. So long, cylindrical, pillar-like cells are present in the walls of our intestine. Okay. And pillar-like, what will be the name? It is pillar-like, name is columnar. So what is the name? columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium. Where we can see it? We can see it in the lining of our intestine. What is the function? Absorption and secretion. Okay. Then again, in our respiratory tract also we can see this columnar epithelium. Respiratory tract means what? Path from nose, nasal passage is there, pharynx is there, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, everything is there. So in this tract there are columnar epithelium. And the columnar epithelium here in the intestine, it is long pillar-like epithelium. Okay. But in the respiratory tract, this long pillar-like epithelium have some hair-like structures also. And these hair-like structures are called cilia. So this hair in the respiratory tract, in the columnar epithelium, we can see some hair-like structures called cilia. So that epithelial cells are called ciliated columnar epithelium. Okay, so which is the type of epithelial cell in respiratory tract? Ciliated columnar epithelium. And what is its function? We know in respiratory tract there will be some mucus and all. So the cilia that are hair-like structures, so that have a wavy movement. So that will move upwards, and due to that wavy motion, it will push the mucus outside. It pushes the mucus upward, and we can spit it out, or through nose we can blow it away. We can remove the mucus from our respiratory tract, and our respiratory tract will become clean. So what is the function of ciliated columnar epithelium? They will help to remove the or push out the mucus from our respiratory tract and keep our respiratory tract clean. Clear? Then in our kidney tubules. Kidney tubules means in the kidney, the basic filtering unit of kidney is called nephron. And this nephron has a cup-shaped structure called Bowman's capsule and a tube-like structure called tubule. So we can see some cube-shaped epithelial cells in this kidney tubules. And also in our salivary ducts also we can see what? This cube-shaped epithelial cells. Okay, and this cube-shaped are called what? Cuboidal. So what is the name of that epithelial cells? They are called cuboidal epithelium. Okay, so cube-shaped epithelial cells are called cuboidal epithelium, and we can see it in our kidney tubule and salivary ducts. Okay, and what is the function? Its function is to give mechanical support. So this cube-shaped epithelium will give mechanical support. Okay. So cuboidal epithelium is present in the kidney tubules and salivary ducts. It is cube-shaped and it gives mechanical support. And some epithelial cells changes into some gland cells. So some epithelial cells will change into some gland cells. So glands, we know, glands will secrete some hormones and enzymes. Salivary glands secrete saliva, or so many glands are there in our body. There are so many glands in our body, like salivary glands secrete saliva, adrenal glands secrete adrenaline hormone. So like this glands secrete some hormones or some enzymes. Okay, so some of these epithelial cells changes into some gland cells. And sometimes what happens, these epithelial cells fold inwards. So epithelial cells will be arranged one after the other, and sometimes what happens, they will fold inwards and form a multicellular gland. So they will form a multicellular gland. Epithelial cells fold inwards and form a gland. And then that epithelium is called glandular epithelium. So that epithelium is called glandular epithelium. So if epithelium changes into gland, that epithelium is called glandular epithelium. Okay, now we can look at this table to study the location and function of the epithelial tissues. So look, first one is simple squamous epithelium. So what about it? Thin and flat and single layered. What is the location? Lining of blood vessels and alveoli. And what is its function? Exchange of substances. The next one is stratified squamous epithelium. So many layered, thin and flat, many layered cells. What is the location? Skin. And what is its function? Protection. The next is columnar epithelium. So long, pillar-like epithelial cells, where we can see in the lining of intestine. What is the function? Absorption and secretion. The next is ciliated columnar epithelium. So long pillar-like cylindrical cells with hair-like cilia, and where we can see it in respiratory tract. What is its function? Pushes mucus forward to clear the respiratory tract. The next is cuboidal epithelium. So cube-shaped epithelial cells, where we can see lining of kidney, tubule and salivary duct. And what is the function? Mechanical support. Okay students, so today we have studied about animal tissues, and today we study about which animal tissue? Epithelial tissue. And there are different types of epithelial tissue. Squamous epithelium, columnar epithelium, ciliated epithelium, ciliated columnar epithelium, cuboidal epithelium.